Alright, so in this video, I will be explaining the entire Jiyan story quest. If you haven't seen it or you just need a recap, this is going to be the perfect video for you. I got you. I realized I made one for Yinlin, so like, why not just make one for the other ones? Even though like, that's CBT2 content, so I thought everyone probably seen it, but there is probably a good majority of people that haven't seen it or they may want a recap, so this is just a video for anyone that wants that. So let's get started. Alright, we pull up to Tao Yunvale and step in on a conversation between Jiyan and Wen Chu, and they're having a conversation about the Riverside game starting back up, and when Chu recommends that Jiyan joins in on the game, saying that it's nice to chill out and take a breather from the stress while he's still young. And during this convo, we decide to join the Riverside games as well. And as Jiyan goes around to confirm the safety of the surroundings, we follow Wen Chu to the Go Puff relay and meet some soldiers. The soldiers explain that 2 of their teammates are injured and won't be able to participate, but they could still participate if they find 2 temporary teammates. And they ask the rover if we'd like to join and explain what happens in the relay race. 4 people take turns controlling the Go Puff in the relay race, and the first one to reach the finish line wins. And we agree to join, but we need one more, so we head over to Jiyan to see if he'd join. He's a bit hesitant at first, but we convince him to join. Then we start heading over to our teammates, but Jiyan notices that something is off, but he thinks it might just be his imagination, so we carry on. And it looks like the Go Puffs were like paying attention to what we were saying, and then they just left as soon as we left. It's weird. And then we make it to our teammates, and they think that we might be able to beat the record with this team. And we learn that the team that holds the record was also a temporary team. And then we decide the order that we're going to go in for the race, which is basically them and then the rover. And then we name the team, which is Team Rover, because we're narcissists. We head to our positions for the race, and the race starts, and everything is good until out of nowhere, at the end of the race, the Go Puffs just start tweaking and lose control. And our terminal goes off, so we kill the Go Puffs, and Jiyan says that something weird is going on, and he heard a strange voice earlier. So he tells Wen Chu that he should evacuate everyone from the area, but Wen Chu explains that this is the first event in years, so he doesn't want to end it early and spoil the fun for everyone. But Jiyan explains,
I have requested the monitoring data records of all nearby waterways from the Academy for safety measures. There might be an underlying cause of this unusual behavior. The records will take some more time to download. Evacuate the people first.
And Wen Chu says that he trusts Jiyan's decision, but it will be a little hard to get everyone to leave because the guy that rode the Go Puff had so much fun that he started bragging about it to the other people. So now the other people want to try it, and now everyone's a little excited right now. So we go around and calm the people down and tell them to evacuate. And after that, we get a call from Mortefi, who explains,
I checked the monitoring data as you asked, and I found unusual fluctuations near the upper waters to the north.
Why didn't the nearest beacon pick up on this anomaly?
The resonance beacon is functioning properly, but we still don't know why it didn't issue a warning this time. I will investigate this further at a later time. Animals are often the first to detect signs of danger. Tacit discords are similar to animals in this regard. They're very sensitive to any change in the frequencies in their surroundings. And that's why those Gull Puffs went haywire. Perhaps the Riverside game's frequency resonated with something in the upper waters.
And then we head over to the upper waters to investigate. We pull up and see some retroact rain, and a Sonoros spare is forming with some TDs around it hitting it gritty. Oh my god, they hitting that motherfucker. Oh god. And then we kill them. And we hear some strange voices coming from the spare, so we start deciphering it. And Jiyan says,
it's the cheers during the Riverside games mingled together with cries for help. Perhaps some people have been trapped in this place. Or maybe... Anyway, we have to figure it out.
And then we enter the Sonoros Spare, and we end up in an area similar to Jinzhou City. Jiyan explains that it's a replica made of remnant frequency. And a Sonoros Spare is basically an illusion made from memories, so like retroact rain, but in like a domain expansion form of lingering frequencies, and the environment in it is ever changing. And we explore it and see some illusions of people from the previous Riverside game. And we see the illusion of the temporary team from a decade ago that held the Go Puff race record. And Jiyan says that it brings back memories to him because we learned that he was actually a part of that temporary team.
According to Mortefi's speculation, this Sonosphere was resonating with the Riverside game's frequencies, and it led to the abnormal fluctuations we detected earlier.
Isn't that the temporary team? Oh, their last runner's actually catching up. Really? That kid, I remember, he's a new recruit. Impressive.
It's the tacit discords. Watch out.
And we fight some TDs, and after that we hear a bell, so we head over to it. We enter the building and see a upside down city. We continue exploring and learn about how the temporary team died.
A decade ago, shortly after the conclusion of the previous Riverside games, a sudden TD outbreak struck the Desirok Highland. The Midnight Rangers had to send its latest recruits to the front line because of the situation's urgency. In the end, we contained the outbreak at a heavy price. The battle took countless lives. Our victory was overshadowed by the immeasurable loss, and they were not the only ones who lost their lives in the Desert Highland. This sonorosphere is probably made up of the reverberations they left behind. As tacit discords devoured the fallen soldiers' frequencies, they became convinced they were the soldiers they feasted upon. Now, they're just reenacting what happened in their memories. But it seems the remaining frequencies of our soldiers are still resisting. The tacit discords emerging together. This will endanger more civilian lives if we allow it to occur.
And then we head over to the sound of the bell again as the domain changes and we fight some TD. And the rover starts questioning why they're just now calling out to us if the battle happened over a decade ago. And Jiyan speculates that it may actually be because of us. He explains that they have had many other Riverside games since then, and this has never happened until this one. We happen to be the only changed variable, so that's why he thinks it may be because of us. The way we formed the team and how the race took place was very similar to back then, so that might be what triggered the resonance. And Jiyan says that the fallen soldiers held on to these memories and used them as a way to resist merging with the TD. And because of that resistance, they have been avoiding a potential TD outbreak for a decade straight. So like they're fighting and protecting even after death. And the sounds that they were making were basically them calling for us. So we continue heading towards the bell. We make it to the bell and notice some illusions of soldiers. And Jiyan explained,
they're reenacting our first lesson for new recruits. During their first lesson, new recruits must pay tribute to fallen soldiers in Niel Square. We are required to do this before being allowed on the battlefield. Its significance eluded most of us during initial training, myself included. Until that day, that was when I finally realized. Niel Square. It is the place where our career as soldiers begins and ends.
And then we continue and see some TD illusions merge into one, and we fight.
They've been trapped here for 10 years, and now finally free. What happened here goes far beyond what we know about the wave-worn phenomena so far. I've sampled some of the frequencies here with my terminal. We should deliver the sample to the Academy.
And then we head over to Martefi and hand over the frequency sample from the Sonoros pair. And he says that he will hand it over to Baiji because Sonoros pairs are her field of expertise. And after that, Jiyan wants us to visit Niel Square with him. And he explains that he plants these flowers here to pay homage to those that died in battle. And he wanted us to be able to help him plant seeds here for those soldiers in the Sonoros pair since we helped free them. And
if one day I perish in battle and cannot return home, could you please plant one of these flowers for me?
Okay, he low-key risked my ass up. Not gonna lie, okay, I'll let him hit. I'm just saying, I'll let him hit. He just basically went on like a little mini date. Like, Jiyan, my little, yeah, type shit. Wait, pause. Wait, not mine. The female rover did anyway, we get a call from Winchu and we meet back up with him.
You see those fish? They look so happy in the safety of their pond. Happiness and safety often come at a cost, whether it be for fish or people. And if we don't feel the weight of that price, someone else is carrying it for us. Dozens of teams competed that day, and the race lasted well into the afternoon. The sunset was so beautiful. Like what we're seeing now, it was so tranquil. That team was thrown together last minute, and nobody thought they could win. They even stumbled during their first exchange. But then, the team surprised everyone with their final runner's expert gulp-off handling and victorious finish. It was truly a race to remember. Yes. I still remember how excited those kids looked, just like how you looked in this photo. We were worried we weren't going to get a photo of you all together, Luckily, the photographer managed to capture a shot of the whole team. I'm planning to talk to Jiyan about hosting the Riverside Games another time. If all goes well, please, join us.
And that's it for Jiyan's story quest. I think it's pretty good, even on a rewatch, because I saw this in CBT too. So like, I didn't know if I wanted to make it, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll make it anyways. But I enjoyed it even on the rewatch. Yeah, nice little quest. Let us know a little bit of lore on Jiyan. You know, I'm looking forward to more of that Riverside event, because we only got to do the Go Puff thing, so they can make that a whole event that takes place every other year or something. And we have some of the playable characters come in on the event. We verse them and different stuff. The Sonoros Square stuff and them capturing the frequencies and the frequencies holding on for that long, and like knowing that soldiers can hold on for like a decade and refuse to merge with the TD, but like as soon as we got there, they all just merged into one TD. That was interesting. I think that I'll fuck with this quest. Let me know what y'all think below. This was a short one. Next I gotta do Ling Yang, and I'm pretty sure that's like the fucking longest one, so that's gonna take a while, but I already did the Yinlin one, so y'all go watch that if you're interested.